This video contains mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
You guys are in London. You've been invited to the British Museum to an exhibit that is premiering to be open in the coming year, begin right after the new year. But you've been invited to basically the pre-show, the opening of it. And you got Anson got a telegram from a man he had met earlier with a warning, saying that he was informed that there was some danger, but he didn't elaborate on it. He didn't know the specifics. All that he could tell you was that you should speak to one of the curators, a Mr. Whitlow.
Did he tell us which one?
Yeah, it was Whitlow.
Yeah, Whitlow.
Okay.
And that was about it.
Okay. And then we went to the pub or we checked in and Jack put us up in his guest room. We went out to a pub, found the guy that was following us. We set him up so that he would follow one of us while we followed him, and we ended up confronting him in a phone booth. Am I right?
Yep, and he confessed that he was hired in a way to
follow
keep an
us.
eye on, to follow you and report back to somebody you have no idea who he was reporting to. All you know is that the person he was
And he has
calling
lucky as well.
is in the same hotel as you were being put up at.
Okay. So it's probably somebody, and we were going to go back to the hotel and see if we couldn't schmooze the clerk, because we didn't check into the hotel.
Nope.
So what we were going to try to do was, I guess, so we were going to go and try to kind of stage a counter. I don't want to say counterintelligence, but basically, find out who is, who's trying to keep an eye on us, because we probably have X rooms and they've probably already booked the room either close to us or next to us or something like that. And so we were going to go check in and see if we can't confront and find out who's spying on us and why.
Correct.
Do I got that right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Anson, you want to... Sydney asked Anson if he wants to head over to the hotel so that we can check in without too much time away from our expected arrival time.
Yeah, I said we do that.
All right. So you guys
See if we can find out
rooms
who's
booked for you at the Grafton Hotel, which is sort of in a decently nice part of London. It's a few blocks away from the British Museum.
Okay.
There's not really a whole lot of markings of where it is. There is a little and I can't even get it in my mind. There's a doorman and there's a sign that says Grafton Hotel, but aside from that, there's any kind of gate, nothing to otherwise indicate that it is a nice hotel.
So it's more it's kind of more like a boutique hotel or a bread and breakfast type of thing, right?
Sort of. It's, if you were to think about it, it's more like it's like a apartment,
a rooming house, a boarding house,
was converted into a hotel. It wasn't designed initially to
be
a
okay.
hotel.
Okay. All right. Those were pretty common back at the time. Hey, Anson, what are you... She kind of whispers as we're sitting on the curb outside the phone booth. Has the guy that we're talking, has he left? Has he gone somewhere?
Yeah. He, after you guys confronted him and he spilled the beans, you just let him run off. He got away from you.
So Anson, what do you have on you? Because I'm thinking I mean, do we want to go to the hotel and just check in without any luggage and say, or say, we travel light or something, or do you want to go back to Jack's estate and do you need to get a weapon?
Well, I've got my revolver with me.
Okay, I got my automatic.
But it might be a good idea to at least empty our suitcases and bring them just to look like we're actually checking in.
Okay. I assumed this was a small trip, so even Sydney being a woman, she probably didn't come with more than like a vanity bag and no, 5 or 6. No, she's very
trunk.
No, not Sydney. She's very, very adventure-y, and she probably only had like a carry-on and like a vanity bag. So,
I mean,
do we want to go and do that, or do we just want to check in?
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
What was that?
It's up to you guys what you guys want to do next.
What do you want? Okay, Anson, do you want to go get luggage, or do you want to just check in and say our luggage was delayed and should be arriving soon?
Yeah, let's just go do it. I don't know what time. What time is it? It's evening, isn't it?
It's
early evening.
Early evening.
Like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Let's
not.
There's a lot of people out, but it's late.
Still banker's hours. Okay.
All
yeah.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
It's December.
Let's just go and tell them that the luggage will be coming.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go take a bus or it's not far. How far is it from here? Because we went into the city from Jack's estate to go to the pub. So how far is it from here to the hotel?
It would be a little bit of a walk, so a bus would be much faster. You could make it.
You want to take a bus?
A bus would be a lot faster.
Or we could take a cab. I'm just thinking. Do you want to take a bus because back in that time the buses in London basically ran in circles, like over and over, because they didn't have like buses that like went out into like out of the downtown area really.
Yeah, let's get a cab. It should be easy enough.
Okay, we'll get a cab. We'll get a taxi.
Get a taxi. All right.
And we'll take it to the hotel.
All right. So, like I said, the Grafton is basically a very simple-looking hotel with a doorman and a small sign that says Grafton Hotel, but nothing else to indicate what it is.
Okay.
You see a couple of...
but the cab driver knew where it was, so
yeah,
it's pretty popular, right?
Yeah, the cab driver knew where it was.
Okay.
No
Okay.
problem. You greeted by a doorman.
Okay.
Who just kind of smiles and opens the door for you. Doesn't say anything, but he's pleasant and lets you pass. And the inside is nicely furnished. Whereas America might be more of this faux Art Deco decor, this is really well handcrafted. Exquisite.
Okay.
Expensive.
So real antiques and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
And there is
good evening, my good man.
With a man standing behind it, looking a little on the tired side.
Good evening, my good man. My associate and I are attending a symposium this weekend, and Sydney Scott and
Anson Thorpe
will be checking in. I believe we have 2 adjoining rooms.
Yes. Let me look. And he looks down at his a little booklet, and he's cross-checking stuff, and says, "Yes, I have you on the 3rd floor, rooms 8 and 9."
Oh, and how many rooms are on that floor? And does the room have a view?
There are, I'll say, 11 rooms on each floor.
Oh, wow. Okay. And does the room have a view? A balcony, perhaps?
It did. It had a view. And somebody
It does.
built a home behind it. So there's not much of a view anymore unless you like to look in
Oh,
bathrooms. If you're that kind of person.
oh no, not at all. Our luggage was delayed. We came from a pub in the city, trying to figure out what to do as far as wondering if we should perhaps go shopping or such. And I was wondering if you could perhaps recommend a department store in the area that might be able to accommodate our wardrobe for the event tomorrow evening.
He gives you the name of a few shops that are within walking distance and tells you that they're closed already, but they open in the mornings.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. Well, we did give the name and number for the hotel with the airline, so if they should call, if you could ring our rooms, that would be most appreciated.
Of course. Is there anything else I can do for you, madam?
Yeah, you have a lot of people staying here? We kind of. I have trouble sleeping at night if it's really noisy, and if there's a lot of people staying, it can get like that. Not saying that it's necessarily be the case here, but I was just wondering.
No, it's quite all right. Yes, well, the holidays coming up. There's obviously a lot of people who are staying here. We're not overbooked. You wouldn't call this crowded, but there are numerous people on the same floor as you and on the floors beneath you. So,
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
anything else?
Is there an elevator perhaps, or is there an elevator we take, or is it just the stairs?
Oh, it's just the stairs. The building was not designed with a lift in mind.
Hmm. Okay. Oh well, thank you very much. And the keys?
Oh, yeah, of course. He hands you each separate key and indicates a marble staircase a little bit past where his desk is.
Okay.
All the way
Well,
up to the
thank
top.
you very much. And uh, lastly, but would you know of a banker perhaps? We'd like to change some of our American money for your English money.
Oh, yes, there's a bank near not too far away, but I'm afraid that they are not going to be open on the weekend, so you'd have to wait until Monday
Oh,
morning. So
oh,
unfortunately,
that won't do at all. Would you be able to change some currency here by any chance?
probably a small amount I could do. Yes.
Okay. Well, she'll change $100 into
Okay.
pounds.
He's able to accommodate.
That is not a small amount in 1920.
No,
It's
no,
not a small amount, but
not
he's able
that
to do
small
it.
of an amount.
He's able to do it.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Uh, well, she'll take her key and head up the stairs to the third floor in rooms 8 and 9. Do you have a preference, Rob? Which one you want? Do you want 8 or 9?
Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
We take a look at them, and you can choose whichever one you prefer.
Sure. So as we get up there, does it look like or can we like hear noise coming from any of the other rooms, any other neighbors or anything?
Well, you can make a listen roll at any door you choose.
Oh, cool. Something I am good at. I'll listen at all of them, but I'm pretty good at listening, so.
And while she's doing
There's
that, I'll
our-
just kind of keep an eye out just to give her a little nudge if somebody shows up. I don't think anybody wants to see someone else with their ear to a door.
All right. So, Sydney, you hear there's not a lot of people on the floor. Probably 3 or 4 rooms are occupied. Um, but with your hard roll,
Okay.
you listen at the door to room 7, and you hear somebody talking in a very hushed voice, um, saying, "You were supposed to keep an eye on them. What was I paying you for?"
Oh, I think we found our guy.
It was the same guy. It was the guy we confronted at the telephone booth that was following us into the pub. He's probably been tailing us since the airport.
Do we fly here or sail here?
You took boats. You both took boats.
I thought we flew. Oh, we took. Okay, so he probably. So then I'm sorry. So he probably followed us since
Since for a
we
while,
came
he's been
into
there.
the dock.
Yes, he's been following you.
Seaport. He was probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So he probably picked us up there. So.
So we found
So he's the
the
spy.
guy's employer.
Well, he lied to us. He says he knows more about his employer than he let on. Unless he really does. Unless he just gets a call from some voice and he just reports.
Yeah, that was kind of. I mean, he said he didn't know who had hired him, and if he was calling him to tell him he wasn't gonna. Because if I remember correctly, he had decided that we had kind of convinced him that following us wasn't going to be a very good idea, a very good career choice. So maybe is calling him to. I mean, do we hear another voice in the room, or is he just?
No, it's just the one voice.
Sounds like he's on the phone. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were wires leading to this building, so you could assume that there's telephones in the rooms.
Okay then. Why don't we both go into room 8 right now?
Okay.
And there wouldn't happen to be an adjoining door to room 7, would there?
No, there wouldn't be.
Okay, all right. Go up to the wall and listen.
Okay.
Can anything be heard?
Would you like me to do that? Because I'm pretty good at listening. I can put a glass up to the door and probably hear. My listen is 75. I don't know what yours is.
51. So yeah, yours is better. I mean, we can both listen, right?
I guess so.
Can, yeah.
Well, no, I can't.
Guess
But
there's
you
only
can.
one glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anson, you try to listen, but you hear sounds coming through the wall, but it's all muffled. You can't make heads or tails of it. Sydney, you know what you're listening for, and you sort of are able to pick it out of all the background noise, and you hear a man talking, saying, "Why didn't they come to the hotel immediately? They were told to come to the hotel. Why did they deviate? Where did they go? That's all I want to know. Is that too much? Is that asking too much from any of you?"
So there's.
It's definitely.
I'll whisper to Anson. Yes, but he said all of you, so he didn't say you, all of you. So Sydney is thinking he means more, that the voice on the phone means more than one. So I'll continue listening until he hangs up.
Yeah, you listen for a little bit longer, but you don't hear anything else. You don't hear any more speaking.
They said we were supposed to come straight to the. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was, like I was saying, there is no other sounds that you guys can pick up.
Okay.
You hear.
He said we were supposed to come to the hotel directly, or why didn't we come directly?
Our luggage was delivered.
Does he know we're here now?
You don't know what he knows now. You don't even know who the person is. You know it's a he,
Yeah,
but you don't know beyond that.
right.
So I'm gonna.
It may be someone from the whatever society that
Could be.
is here
I'm
to
gonna
keep
whisper
an
to
eye on us.
Anson. Let's wait for the guy to leave, and then go into his room and call the operator from the phone, and get the operator to give us the number that was calling it. Because back then they didn't have digital switching phones. Everything was analog. It was literally, you literally had an
Yeah, right.
operator in a room plugging things into sockets.
Right.
So. And then once we have that number, we could go and, they would give us the number and like the registered name, and then we could find out who his employer was. Kind of like old-fashioned Star 69.
Yeah, I have a thought. I don't know whether this would work or not. Is
I
there
don't
a
know.
room service? Is there a room service menu in the room?
Make a luck roll.
With this place,
I mean, I don't even know if this place actually has room
it's a
service.
kitchen.
But me make a luck roll? Ha.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I make a luck
wow.
roll.
Yes, there is a little.
They have an award-winning chef.
They have a menu.
They have an award-winning chef on staff.
They don't serve
Okay.
the fanciest meals, but they do have some food that can be brought to the room.
But it
Sandwich
says,
and
let's say
stuff.
your first 3 meals are free.
You know what's going to bother you, Anson or Rob? That
Yeah, I needed that roll.
you used your luck roll on the room service menu, not something important like dangling from a ledge by your fingertips on a room service menu.
But hey, at least we eat well tonight, right?
Well, he just said it was only things like pastries and sandwiches and stuff.
Right. So yeah, I'll look at it and choose like a sandwich or something, and then I'm gonna go to the phone and pick it up. Say, operator, I'd like room service for room 7, please.
Well, what can I get you?
I'll order one of the sandwiches from the menu.
Okay. He tells you it'll be a few minutes, and hangs up.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, the line went dead a long time ago. Let's see.
So all we got to do is time it right, and see if we can get him opening the door.
Can I get a group luck roll from the two of you guys?
That means you, Anson.
That
Mine
means
looks like
me, doesn't it?
99.
And I just did my success, didn't I?
You did.
There you go.
Hey, still pretty lucky.
I feel lucky today.
All right, so a few minutes later, the door to
Yeah, I'm going to be listening at our door.
and at that almost exact same moment, you hear the door from the room next to you open.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to step on out into the hallway and start walking by to see if I can get a glimpse of whoever it is in the room.
All right, you see a tall man, sort of with a thin frame, but you can't really make out a whole bunch of his features. He's wearing a pretty heavy coat that obscures a lot of his, or like what he's wearing and anything like that. And he's moving quickly towards the stairs. He quickly disappears from view. He doesn't even look back.
And then not someone I recognize.
So it's not the same guy that we found following us at the pub.
No, not the same guy.
Okay, and I don't recognize him.
You could tell that he has dark hair, That's it.
Darn it.
Okay.
No. But
The guy that was following you
notably
had
tall. So not.
Okay. So he's at least working with a partner. Okay. Wait a couple of minutes, make sure the guy's not just, not coming back, and then I suggest Anson and I go and search his room.
All right. The guy who brought up your food departs without saying anything, and there's no sign of anybody coming back up to that floor. No other guests up here. No one's returning back to that room. Nothing.
And no CCT cameras. So,
Nope.
Hey, Anson, do you have locksmith?
I absolutely totally do not.
I only have.
Unless you want to count 1% as locksmith.
Yeah.
I do, however, have the strength to break in a door if I have to.
So what I was thinking is, so the reason why I asked if it had a balcony was because I was thinking we could go out on our balcony and then like step over into their balcony and then like go in through their window. That way, when they come back, they won't notice right away. Because if they're PIs of some sort and you break in their door, they're gonna know somebody was.
Oh yeah.
Whereas
breaking the door would be
yeah. Whereas they're less likely to notice someone jimmied the window. Sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Can we do that, Mr. Keeper?
Yeah, you can still do that. There's still balconies. There's just no view. It's basically
Yeah. Okay. I was asking about the view because I cared about the balcony, not the view.
Yeah.
What kind of gap do we have between balconies? Is it? I mean, they go straight up to each other with a wall in between, or
no? They're separate. It's probably 10 paces or so between each balcony.
Well, we can do that.
That's a good jump.
You can jump it, but it'll if you miss.
Well, we're only on the third floor. We're not like at a.
I see losing more hit points in my future. Okay. Well, I have a base score for both climb and jump. So.
All right. Is there a bathroom in the room?
Yes. I'll say this hotel is not.
So each room has a bathroom.
Have its own bathroom. Its own
and I assume there's a door going into the bathroom. It's not like a European one where they have like just an archway. There's a door, right?
No, there's a door. Yes.
Okay. So what Sydney will do, because you said that there's no view anymore. There's just basically the back of a house. So no one's going to really be seeing us. Sydney's going to suggest that we take the door off the bathroom and lay it across our balcony to their balcony, and we just crawl over. That way we don't have to jump. Is that something we can do?
I will say yeah.
Okay. That seems way easier than jumping and risking falling to our death. And how did your Call of Cthulhu campaign? We tried to jump from one balcony to another balcony and fell to our deaths.
Could we just say that Anthony almost died falling off a ladder? So anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying let's use a door. Yeah, let's do it the safe way.
We need to handicap it as much as possible for Anson's sake.
All right.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
Works that you can do this.
Okay.
That the door will provide enough of a bridge.
Oh, I hate to interrupt. But do we make our luck rolls at the beginning of the session? Because we were in a safe place, right?
Looks like, looking at the chat log, it looked like we did it at the end of the last session.
Did we?
I mean, pretty much the last rolls.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It does. 1D 100, 2D. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It looks like we did make luck rolls. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. I apologize.
No.
It was a month ago. I don't remember.
I would dearly love more luck, that's for sure. But
Okay. So it works, and we get over into the next balcony. Is the window locked, or can we use a stiff like a playing card or something, and move the latch or something?
The window is latched.
Okay. So can we use like a thin piece of metal from the room, or a playing card or something? And because I'm assuming the hotel room has like a little pad of paper and like a pen or something, and there's some other like little things, and
yeah. I have a pocket knife.
Oh, he has a pocket knife. Even better. I was just gonna say, does Sydney have a pocket knife?
All right.
So yeah, we'll just use his pocket knife. Yes, Sydney does have a pocket knife.
So it's gonna be it's a little tricky, and you're gonna have to focus on it. So whoever wants to jimmy the lock
Okay.
can make their choice of a dex roll or a locksmith roll.
My dex is 90. What's yours?
65.
I think I'll make it.
Yes, you did.
So you sit there, you take
Sydney's
the
good at a
tip of the
couple.
blade, and you sort of jiggle a little bit, and the lock pops right open. The door almost swings open to invite you in.
Okay, I open the window and crawl through.
All right.
And step through, not crawl, step through.
The room is set up very similar to the way the room you came from, Lux. Bed is untouched. There's obviously a phone in there. No clothes, no.
So Sydney will tell Anson to check the desk and the phone. I'll check under the bed and the closets.
Okay.
Basically, I'm looking to see if they have any luggage or any other personal items that they brought in, and Anson's checking to see if he can find like a phone number or something. And if not, call the operator and see what the last number, and see what the last call was to.
All right. If you're inspecting the desk, can you make a spot hidden roll?
Anson
We
can do
shall
that.
see. Yes, I can.
We're doing good today. We're like,
Oh yeah.
All right. So you do find something sort of crumpled up a little bit, and like it was intended to be thrown into the trash, but it wasn't.
Mhm.
I'll show you this handout on Roll20.
ooh, a handout.
A wax music. Huh.
Severance Cabinet of Curiosities and Waxwork Emporium. This almost sounds like an occult shop of some sort. Curiosity, yeah.
Wax museums are never ever creepy at all.
Every wax museum in the world is creepy. I've never been to a nice one. They're open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Okay. All right. Do I find anything? Does he find anything else? I assume Anson would also check the trash as well.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Yeah, checking the trash. If there's a notepad there, check to see if anything's like there's an impression or anything in the pad.
Like do the old thing where you take a pencil and you like lightly shade the second page to see if there's anything.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say no. There was nothing else there. Nothing else to note.
Okay.
If it was more modern times, there'd probably be like a water bottle in there or something like that, but not in the 1920s.
Yeah. So Sydney's checking under the bed in the closets. Anything?
No, there's nothing. There doesn't seem like whoever's in the room brought clothes of any kind. They're not staying in the room.
They're just using it for Do we see any type of the city? So Sydney's kind of curious right now. Do we see any type of surveillance equipment, like a pair of binoculars, a microphone, or I mean, like a tape recorder or anything?
Nothing that stands out to you.
These guys were basically doing what we had to improvise, and that was their trade.
So essentially, the only thing it appears that they brought into the room with them is this advertisement that they've.
All right, so Sydney's gonna pick up the phone and push 0 for the operator.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, this is Claire Delacourt calling. I'm currently staying in a hotel here, and my husband was contacting to make some reservations, but he didn't write them down. Is it possible you can give me the number of the last called number, please?
Oh, I can give you the where the extension was, but I really doubt that story, considering it's not at a local number. And can you make some sort of a social roll to convince him to give it to you?
Sure. Social. Let me see. What's my fast talk? I guess what would it be? Fast talk or persuade? I'll go with persuade because it's my higher.
It depends on how you're going to do it.
Exactly.
I don't think I can use charm on the phone, can I? Because charm is more like presence. So I guess it would have to be persuade, and that's my best, but it's like base. I fumbled. She doesn't believe me at all. Oh well.
Well, listen, Ms. Delacourt.
And I'll hang up the phone.
And the phone goes dead and silent.
I'll just hang up the phone. Okay.
Maybe we should get out.
Yeah, we should get out. So we're going to go back out the window, or Sydney's going to go back out the window, crawl back over the door, wait for Anson to come back, and then take the door and put it back on its hinges.
Yeah,
Don't fall off the door.
While she was on the phone doing all this, I would have been copying down all the information from this piece of paper.
Okay.
Onto I'm a journalist. I carry a notepad with me onto my own notepad.
Yeah, don't take it because then they'll know.
And then leave the paper where it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't want to. On the off chance they notice it missing, I don't want to take it.
Yeah.
Try to put it back where it was and get
crumple it back up, put it back where it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we get back into the other room. We put the door back on the hinges. I assume this was like just a single pin hinges, door hinges. It wasn't anything fancy or.
No, not fancy.
Just enough. And I say to Anson, we need to go back down and talk to that clerk, and we need to get a look at the book, the ledger book, the check-in book, so we can find out who's staying in that room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you don't think we need to, unless you think it's basically we just need to go to this curiosity shop. It's still early enough.
No. I mean, we should find out as much as we can going in. I mean, this curiosity shop may be. I mean, there may be something dangerous going on with that, but.
True, but they're still open. I mean, they're open until 8, and it is only early evening.
Right. I'm just saying, get what information we can first.
Okay.
From the clerk, if we can, or the ledger.
Well, my only thing I was thinking is if he's on now, we might have a better chance of getting a look at the ledger in the middle of the night when people are more when an employee is more likely to be taking like a cigarette break or something, or they're not nearly as
nobody around. That's true.
Yeah, they're not going to be as cognizant as they are in the day when they're having people actually checking in and stuff.
Right.
Go down at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you could probably just walk
Yeah.
up, see if anybody's there, and just flip it around.
Yeah. Or a small distraction. Take them away.
Yeah.
With nobody
Like,
else there.
oh no, my toilet is stuffed up. Could you come up and look at it?
I
Then while
told
he's
you not to put that in the toilet. Okay.
Then while he's doing that, you just exit out your door, go down, take a look at the book. Done.
All right, then I guess let's pay a visit to the what? Oh, what were the hours on that?
10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we'd be
Yeah.
figuring 4 or 5. It's about 5, 6 o'clock. We have time to get down there near the end of closing. Are we going to go loaded for bear, or are we?
Well, I'm going to take my
taking
revolver.
handguns? Or are we just, okay, so we're just taking handguns.
I'm not going to try and quote unquote sneak an elephant gun in.
Do you have an elephant gun too?
No, but
Okay. He's got elephant guns.
I borrowed Jack's. If we need it, it's there to borrow, right?
I'm just going with I'm just going
Yeah,
with
I'm not.
9mm pistol. I'm not.
As far as I know, there's nothing special. I mean, I'll bring my camera with me.
Okay.
And my notepad I always have with me. So, yeah.
All right, so we'll just go down and ask the front desk if they can get us a taxi. Ask them if there were any message. Ask the front desk if there were any messages. Did the shipping, or not the shipping? Did the shipping line? Did the shipping line call about our luggage?
No, Mom, nothing to report. No messages.
Oh, very well. Can you call us a car? We think we'd like to spend an early evening in town and grab some dinner.
Of course. And he will begrudgingly call for a taxi for you.
Okay. Kind of watching him as Sydney talks to him.
I'll smile at him.
I'm wondering if this guy's been paid off as well to keep an eye out for us or anything like that. So could I use a psychology roll to maybe see if he's acting suspicious or anything while he's
Yeah, that's a good point.
interacting?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get the impression that he's tired and he's having a bad day. Nothing to.
Okay.
It was whatever it did. It was very mundane.
Nothing to indicate that he's
No, he's not concealing
paying
it.
particular attention to us or anything. Okay. All right.
After he calls for the taxi, Sydney will smile at him and slide a £5 note over to him and thank him for all of the assistance he's given us for the day. He's really been quite accommodating.
All right. A car arrives relatively quickly. You are still in downtown London, so it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere or outside of the pub.
Okay, fair enough.
So the car comes, and the driver will take you wherever you want to go.
Ask him how well he knows the city, and say that we are meeting an associate of ours up on Cranbourne Street, and we're looking for a nice place to have a spotted dinner in the vicinity.
Well, I guess one question would be: is Bloomsbury a neighborhood in London, or is it another town altogether?
No, it's in London.
Okay. All right.
I assumed it's a neighborhood in.
Yes, it's a little more to the. I have a map that I can consult.
That helpful.
I'm not going to tell you guys, but it's not too far
Darn
from
it.
the Thames, from the river.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we'll tell him we're looking for if he happens to know of a nice place for a spot of dinner up in Bloomsbury on Cranbourne Street.
Yeah, there's plenty of places down there. It's always a very popular place. A lot of people hang out around Leicester Square. You got the cinemas, you got a bunch of shopping, you got some little cafes and restaurants. Place is always crowded, especially now with Christmas coming up. People go and spend all their
Oh
money.
yes, yes, the holidays of London. Holidays are so nice.
Yeah, well, and they're also, them science people been saying there might be snow coming, so can't even imagine the snow with all this freaking rain we're getting. It's not letting up.
What month is this? Like
It's-
January or
it's
something? Or
December.
Christmas, December.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just before Christmas.
I know the date on the telegram I got was the 1st of December, so I imagine it's at least
Well, I guess-
mid December.
Okay, because I assumed our ship passage took like a month or something.
Nah,
It ta-
ship passage
so-
only takes.
It takes about a week.
I think it
to
takes
get
less
from-
than a week.
depending on the ship
Oh, it's not bad.
and where it's going and what port it's going to. But yeah. it's
Okay,
not
I thought it was going to be way long.
No. If you were going to a whole bunch of places, it would be longer. Or if you're going down to like Cairo or to Athens, then it would be longer. But no.
No, I'm gonna stay away from Egypt for a while. Thanks.
Okay, that's reasonable. We can do that. Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. So we'll go there and yeah, we'll go there and once the taxi lets us off, we'll look for the curiosity shop.
All right. So
Really wasn't interested in getting any dinner. Figured we could get it afterwards.
the taxi drops you off at Leicester Square, which forms sort of like this little center of the shopping area where this wax museum, this House of Wax, is located. You see, there's a lot of people around. There's bright lights for a theater, for a couple theaters, and a giant statue of William Shakespeare in the center of the square,
Of course.
surrounded by flowers that have wilted because of the temperature. There is a light rain, but it's mostly very foggy out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful London evening, is what you're
Typical
saying.
London evening.
It's a very
Okay.
nice English day. The wax works is located in a 2-story building.
Okay.
And its
Oh.
windows are blocked out by rolled down shades.
Is it on the corner with an alley in between it, or with an alley next to it, or?
Yes, there's an alley.
And does it look popular? Does it look like? I mean, there are a lot of people
Well, when you get near
Anyone coming in and out?
around
to
it,
the,
going in and out.
when you get into the building, you see a big white sign that says "closed for renovations." Receiving new exhibits, please
Okay.
visit us in 1 week.
Sounds like a little burglar.
We could really use someone with lockpicking skill.
Yeah,
So
I
we
don't
do
know
have an
why
alley. That's good.
every character I ever make in Call of Cthulhu, I never give them picking. Huh. All right. So there's an alley. Is there like an alley door to this place,
We'll make a luck roll.
or is it me to make a luck roll? I can make luck rolls. I'm good at those.
You can, whoever wants to.
Yeah, you
make
look.
a
I
luck
won't
roll.
look that way.
Okay.
Yes, there is a door in the alleyway that leads to the House of Wax. It just says Zephyrins on the outside of the door.
All right, so I'll come back out of the alley and I'll tell Anson. So there's an alley door there. I don't know if you break into it, or if you want to come back at the middle of the night when around. Because it is still early evening.
Well, you said there are a lot of people out on the street, so depending on how much noise breaking the door in could make, it could be a problem. Can we listen at the door to see if there's actually anything going on inside on the other, well, at least on the other side of the door?
You can make a listen roll.
Okay.
All right, Anson, the music from the nearby cinemas is too much for you. It's distracting, and you just can't hear anything. Sydney, when you strain and you listen, you don't think you hear anybody on the other side of the door.
So it really probably.
I want to very carefully try the doorknob to see if maybe it's unlocked.
It's locked.
As expected, but still.
So Sydney's going to pick up a small handful of dirt, and she's going to sprinkle it over the step just in front of the door. I assume it has it has one of those like step ups or something like that.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. My intent here is if we come back later, or we come back like the next day, and there's any footprints or anything in the dirt, then we'll know that there was some late night something went on.
Sounds reasonable.
Because what Sydney is thinking is that, okay, this curiosity shop is also a front for a cult, and if it's a front for a cult, they probably have like late night meetings as opposed to anything else. So. All right. Do we want to come back, Anson, and do we want to go get some dinner and some drinks and come back at night and try to break in, or do we want to go back to Jack's and come? What do we want to do?
What's next door? What's in close?
Good.
What kind of business is in close proximity to the museum?
Your neighbor.
Next door to them is, let's see, looks like a florist of some sorts, but they've already closed.
Okay. How far is the nearest cafe or restaurant or eating establishment?
Not far. You can
We
probably
may as well
see
get
it
something
from
to
the
eat.
front of the
Not too far.
Wax Museum.
Okay. Yeah, let's go grab a bite to eat.
All right.
Yeah.
Fast forward to
All right.
when, if you wanted to go back to the House of Wax, or what, if you wanted to just skip to the next day. It's up to you.
Well, I wanted to ask the waiter or waitress or whoever we interact with at the restaurant, kind of tell them that we had heard about the Wax Museum and we're hoping to pay it a visit, and we were kind of disappointed to see that it's closed, and just kind of see what they can tell us about the place, if they even know. See if I ask about what's in the what was it, the Chamber of Horrors, and what kind of unique exhibits they have inside.
The waiter is very nice. Um, he says, I went there once with my kid, my daughter. It was a little too mature for her. A lot of, you might want to call it grisly things. You know,
Oh, really?
yeah. You talk about.
Was it like Jack the Ripper stuff,
Oh, yeah,
or?
there's a whole thing with Jack the Ripper. There's a guillotine with an honest to God looks like a real head in the basket. I'm not
Wow.
saying it's a real head because that would just be weird, but it looks real.
Anything like Egyptian stuff or anything like that?
I don't think anything real Egyptian. I know there's supposed to be a
Yeah.
merman coming in after the new year.
Um, a merman.
Yeah,
Huh.
half man,
Like,
half fish. Ought to be something.
yeah. Wow, that would be something.
I hear they got it from this place in America. Some sort of
Yeah.
place
Really?
up in New York.
Don't tell me Innsmouth?
No.
Oh, someplace in New York.
New York.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. That'd be something worth looking at. Maybe we extend our stay here and give it a look
Yeah,
when they open up with it.
I'm excited to see it. That's definite. But they haven't released a whole lot of information. They put out little signs and stuff, but that's been about it.
Well, anticipation and all that, right?
Exactly.
So and don't bring the kids is what you're saying, right?
No, not unless you want to pay for them to go to an asylum because there's some really messed up stuff in there.
Oh, that bad, huh? All right. Well, that as odd as it may sound, it's kind of right up my alley. I like that scary stuff. I saw that Nosferatu movie a while back, and that was,
Oh, you saw that?
that kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff is just. I love that stuff. I love reading those weird tale magazines, and all that stuff. So this will be fun.
Can't say I heard
Thank
of
you,
this weird tale
thank you
stuff.
very much for your.
Oh, of course. And he'll serve.
Oh yeah,
and all that.
Dime magazines.
Sorry, I'm back.
All right.
So what did you learn from the server?
We learned that they're preparing to have a merman exhibition.
Oh,
Some kind of exhibit that they're bringing from New York.
so basically those fish people that we met in Egypt, one of them is basically coming here under the guise of being a merman.
That was the thought that came into my mind as well. Although it's a wax museum, but it may just be like a. I mean, it may not even be an actual merman, or it may be maybe it will be a real one. I don't know, but yeah, he said the some of the exhibits are pretty gruesome. There's a guillotine with a severed head, and the head looks real, like uncanny real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fun place.
Okay. How long are we going to stay here? When do we want to go try to get in? Are we going to try to get in? tonight
Right.
in the middle of the night. Did you bring your crowbar?
Oh yeah, I keep a crowbar with me wherever I go.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we can get a crowbar easily enough. I bet Jack's got one.
Yeah,
Does Jack have lockpicking skill? Maybe we should bring Jack with us.
I don't think Jack does. I think Jack's way of picking a lock is blowing the lock out.
Shooting it? Yeah, you're probably right.
Do we want to go back and try to break in through the side door? You have the strength, I don't. Or do we just want to come back? Do we just want to go?
We break into the door. We obviously let people know that somebody's been there.
Right, but we can't.
I mean, there's no other way in as far as I can see.
Yeah, I mean, we could break a window, but then they're still going to know somebody was in.
And we really gotta. I think having a look inside is pretty imperative. So, yeah, why don't we come back?
Well, we're already here. Why don't we just stay here? That way we don't have to worry about trying to explain to a taxi driver why we need to come here at 11 o'clock at night.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can just hang out. We'll see the sights. Maybe have a few drinks somewhere.
Well, I imagine we could stretch dinner for like 3 hours, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got here at about 6, so it's going up on 9 o'clock. Assume we could just stay here an extra hour or so and try to break in around 10.
No, I don't know how long. I mean, you said tomorrow's Saturday, so it's Friday night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how late the nightlife is around here. It seems to be a popular spot theater-wise and everything. It may be 1, 2 a.m. before we can get a reasonable opportunity.
We also don't want it so quiet that breaking the door is loud.
True. That's true.
That's just what I'm thinking. So whenever you want to try to bust into this place, we can do it. I think it's important.
I agree.
Okay.
So yeah, well, we'll wait for the crowds to die down at least a bit then.
Yeah.
To a point where we can be in the alley and be relatively
unobserved.
Yeah, relatively certain that nobody's going to pass by in a matter of, give us 2 or 3 minutes before we can expect somebody to pass by and go do it. Try to shoulder it in as quietly as possible.
All right.
Yeah.
Whatever time of night that happens to be.
Just from general looking around, you can tell that the crowds are thinning around like 10 o'clock. The theaters are still open, but there's not so many people around anymore as the night wears on.
Okay.
All right.
I think this is the time to do it.
Yeah, we'll choose our moment, and I will give it a shot.
All right.
Yep.
So
okay.
It's a straight strength roll.
And so Anson will go down the alleyway, and Sydney will stand at the edge of the sidewalk, where the sidewalk meets the alley, and just kind of like keep an eye out, like look out.
Okay.
And also using her body to block the door so that Anson at least has her silhouette, obscuring him.
Yeah. So strength?
So a straight strength roll, yes.
Hey, Anson, good job.
All right. right. It takes you a little bit of effort, but eventually you hear a little snap of wood, and the lock basically pops out, and you're able to freely swing the door open.
All
When
right, we
when you
will.
take a quick look inside, you see a short hallway that branches. An arrow to the left says gallery, right says workroom.
Okay.
I
I'll,
assume. Are you going
I'll,
to signal to me to come after you after you go in, or what?
yeah, I'll, and then
Okay.
I'll slip in quickly.
And Cindy will slink down the alleyway and slip into the.
All right, yep. You guys are able to go inside. You don't hear any noise. It's
And
nothing
what were the
obvious.
directions? Galley to the left, and what was the other thing?
Gallery to the left, workroom to the right.
Check the workroom first. Are there any
Yeah.
stairs going up to any other floors, or is this a one floor building?
If there are stairs, they're not here.
Okay. Galley or workroom? I'm thinking
Yeah, I agree.
workroom. And now that we're inside, Sydney will ready her automatic.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea. I'll pull my revolver as well.
All right.
Because doesn't that give us like that give you like a plus 50 on your initiative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you both make listen rolls?
Sure.
Probably not, but I'll try. Actually, I got a 51.
Wow. For once you heard it and I didn't.
Yeah.
Cindy, you're walking along.
I think Sydney does have an electric torch.
But Anson,
Yeah.
you hear whispered voices coming from the workroom.
Oh. I'll stop and hold up a hand.
Okay.
And then kind of just tap my ear and point towards the workroom.
Okay. Sydney will take out her electric torch, but not turn it on yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I make out what's being said?
It's too muffled and too soft to hear. But you can't. You can tell the voices.
Can I Can I tell an approximate number of different voices?
With that roll, no.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't think a regular success would get me much.
So how would you like to proceed?
I know Sydney's got more stealth than I do, but I'm not sure her having not actually heard the voices, it's going to help her. So I'm going to try to quietly creep up and get a peek into the
room. Yeah.
Well, is there a door at the workroom, or is it just an open doorway?
It's it takes a
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Then it's open. There's no door.
Okay. I'm gonna try and sneak up as quietly as possible and as close as possible to try and get a peek inside.
All right.
Sydney will stealth behind him as well.
Make stealth rolls then.
Okay. This is where it falls apart. Oh, I got it! Wow. I just nailing these rolls.
Man, we are just ninjas today. We are just, man.
Yeah, they don't seem to hear you coming. So you get to the edge of the door. Cindy, you can go in farther if you wish to, but you can both clearly see that there are these 3 large vats of wax that are bubbling. There's a little
okay
work table just to Sydney's right, inside of the room, and there are three people on a sort of like a thin gangplank that crosses the room above the vats.
Do we recognize any of the three people?
No, they're dressed in like workmen's overalls, but beyond that, you don't recognize them.
Okay. Um. I guess just watch and see what they do. I mean, where does this hallway go? I mean, does it end at the workroom, or are there like other rooms, like an office or something?
And that's basically where it ends. All the whatever work is done here. There's no like administrator's office. If there is, it's just maybe a desk in the corner of this room, but otherwise, there's nothing else here.
Okay. So this is basically the back office for it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's workers here. They are remodeling. I don't know.
They've got a light on in the room and everything. They're
Yeah.
like
There's a light as though
doesn't
people
look or
working.
sound like they're trying to be. Right.
Is there anything else other than like the work table and the vats of wax? Is there anything else in the room? Like any crates that might have recently come in or something, or anything else? Tools or anything?
Make a spot hidden roll.
Spot hidden?
Yep, both of you can if you wish to.
Okay.
Okay. So, Sydney, you see that on the desk right next to you is a stack of papers with handwritten notes on it. And Anson, you can see on the left hands of the three men, each of them has this weird black tattoo that seems to look like a tree branch. If you had to give it any kind of description.
So cultist. So,
Okay.
have we seen that symbol before?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think we have. I kind of think I know what it is, but Anson would have absolutely no idea. So
Okay.
And it
unless
is
he
not
made
what you're
a.
thinking it is from a meta point of view.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, here's the thing. Can I make an occult or
Ooh, yeah.
even a mythos roll to see if I recognize?
you can make.
Or is it even an occult thing? Is there a roll I can make to see if I recognize it?
You
Let
can
me put it
definitely
that
make
way.
a cult roll to see if you recognize it.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Anson, good job.
Anson, you recognize it. It seems to
The
resemble
other foot's gonna fall soon.
an sort of obscure cult that the symbol of an obscure cult that had been active in Britain during the Roman Empire. There's not much known about this group, but they're thought to have died out a few hundred years ago.
So,
The
so you said the wax is bubbling, right?
Yes.
So that means they had to have started this quite some time. You know, wax doesn't instantly.
Nope.
Well, so Sydney will whisper to Anson, "What do you want to do? It's three of them and two of us, and if we get the drop on, we can probably take them."
yeah, but sound of gunshots may follow my carry outside, and
That's true.
do you think you can reach those papers
Yeah, can I reach the papers?
without being seen? I mean, you did make an
yeah.
extreme roll,
You made an
so
extreme roll, so yes, definitely.
Okay, what do they look like?
So
What are the papers?
they're all like hand scribbled notes. I don't have a handout for these, but they're basically just handwritten notes that are cooking instructions, or to make wax statues. And there's
Oh,
okay.
a few different ones, but one really stands out to you, and it's instructions on how to preserve flesh in wax. Without destroying the flesh.
okay.
Really realistic exhibits.
So they are bringing in a real fish person.
Yeah, it also makes me wonder whether some of the other exhibits aren't necessarily, people.
Do we want to sneak into the gallery and see what they've got there?
I think that's what we ought to do. Yeah, slip into the gallery and
All right,
have a look.
that's what we're going to do. These three guys look like they're busy doing work, so we're going to stealth into the gallery.
All right. You can just move into the gallery. There's nobody in there. There was no sounds coming from the gallery area.
Okay.
And there's no lights on, so it's completely dark, as though the place is closed for business.
Well, Sydney has her electric torch, so I'll turn it on and just
Now, the way into the gallery, was there a door into here, or was it open as well?
It was open as well. There was
Like
there's
just
a
a-
curtain hanging above it, above the entrance, so that people wouldn't just walk in through the hall thinking that's where they should go next. And if they were just
Okay.
walking around, but there's no like physical barrier aside from that curtain.
Okay. So yeah, just try not to like shine the light towards the threshold there.
Well, all we need to do is just step on the other side of the curtain, and just turn on the
Yeah.
light, and like just sweep it across the room and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, that's
Let's
what
do
you
it.
go into the room, and it is full of wax statues and things that look like they were just repaired with wax but are otherwise real. Let's see. You see right near the front of where patrons come in is a glass display case filled with unusual beetles, specifically some that come from Egypt and northern Africa. And since one that stands out,
And this
to
is
you,
a display case.
it's a display case with a bunch of dead bugs in it. And since one of the displays stands out to you because it mentions a reproduction of a meteorite that landed near Arkham.
Okay.
There are a pair of shrunken human heads. There is what looks like a horse's skull with a little placard that says "Real Unicorn." And
okay.
And I have a whole list of things that you could guys find in here. What looks to be a large skull labeled Triceratops, discovered in Devonshire. And there's a little arrow pointing off to the farther wall that says "Human Displays."
Yeah, let's look at that.
Okay. Still weapons at the ready.
right. So you guys wander around into this little anteroom, and the first thing that stands right in front of the entrance to this little section is what looks like a executioner with an axe standing above a kneeling person wearing what you can only assume to be royal French clothing.
Okay.
Let's see. There is a display of a life-size Jack the Ripper perched in an alley above a screaming woman. You can see
Okay.
a guillotine with the blade after dropping. There's a body laying on the slab with a head in the basket. And for this, I need Anson to make a sanity roll.
Of course you do. Ah.
Okay.
Whew.
So, Anson, you have had the occasional nightmare since leaving Egypt.
Probably, yeah.
And for the most part, they've gotten less and less frequent in your mind. But you could swear that when you looked at this severed head, it was your face staring back at you and not a waxen face. But you blink a few times and the
Wonderful.
image just fades from your mind. And you just realize, nope, it's not your head. It's not like you saw, not like from your nightmares of your head just laying in a cave all by itself. It was a trick of the light, maybe, but it's gone.
Now, does this or any of the other human displays look particularly real? I mean, more real than we would expect a wax display to look.
You look around, you see what is a skeleton in a medieval torture cage, and the bones look incredibly real.
Okay.
But this is the farthest part of the room. You have your back to everything else, and I need you to both make listen rolls.
Oh, great. Ha. I knew it was about time my luck would change.
I will spend a
Actually-
single point of luck to make that roll.
Okay.
So I only failed by one.
Yeah.
You hear, even though, you're looking at all the displays and you have your back to the room, but you hear this faint rustling of cloth on the ground behind you and a soft little thud as though something landed on carpeting and is slowly moving towards you.
Okay, I'm going to turn around.
Okay. You turn around and you see
Turn around, shine my light.
you see Jack the Ripper standing a few steps away from you, butcher knife in hand, moving in your direction, and you can make a sanity roll, Sydney.
Okay.
All right. So this is freaky. I mean, you don't. This it should. It's a statue. It shouldn't be moving. Even if there was a real once living person in there, it's wax.
So it's moving really slowly.
It's moving a little slowly. It's jerking a little bit from as it's taking each step, but it's so unnerving. You drop your flashlight in surprise. You will take 1 point
Okay.
sanity loss.
No.
And I assume I've noticed all this, right? I noticed at least the flash. Her
At,
turning and dropping the flashlight.
yes, at this point you turn, and you can again make a sanity roll. Anson.
Of course. All right.
And the same thing, you're like, what am I looking at? This shouldn't be happening. You can lose 1 point of sanity as you start to backpedal.
I will use my resilient feat, and I will burn the point of sanity loss as.
Okay.
Forgot we had those. Okay. I'll pick up the flashlight because I imagine it's still on.
Oh, it's still on, yeah. It just fell out of your hand when you sort of like you just dropped it out of shock.
So
its movements are like jerky, like it's.
Yeah, can we just? I assume. I always found this weird in zombie movies. Why people just didn't like step around it and like leave.
Oh, you can definitely do that.
I assume it's an ambush hunter, and so what it was trying to do was get the jump on us and stab one of us in the back. But it's there, so just kind of take like the loop around and
hopefully it's the only one.
It's the only one only thing that's moving.
Yeah, keep an eye on that executioner.
The only one we notice moving right now. So
Right.
yeah, I think maybe we ought to just take us.
Yeah,
give it a wide berth and make our way towards the exit.
Yeah, we'll stealth our way out and keep an eye on that executioner with the axe and make sure he doesn't, take a swing as we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. That sounds like a good idea.
All right, so you like basically circle around, make a wide berth around the Jack the Ripper figure, and make your way back to the gallery. You can both make listen rolls.
Back to the curtain.
Yep, you can both make listen rolls.
Okay. Gosh, we're just doing awesome.
Really easily, because it's coming just from the other side of the curtain, you hear two voices. One saying, Jack only moves when somebody's in there that's not supposed to be there. You hear another voice saying,
We want to make a rush. Do we want to make a run for the door or what? Because we can't be more than a couple of feet away from it. It's literally go that way,
go that way. Get into a firefight with 3 guys and a
wax statue.
Wax zombie, yeah.
Okay, so let's just make a run for the door.
All right. It's dark in here, even though with your flashlight, it's still pretty dark in this room. And it's not really the most conducive to running, so you're going to have to both make dex checks to avoid falling.
Okay. We're good at these things, so yeah.
Yeah, jeez. You guys are able to run across the room, get to the door, and remember at the last moment that the front door was locked. And you can't open it from this side without a key.
Yeah, but we're on the...
I think we were going to try to get out the back door.
Yeah, we're going to go out the back door.
So you're going to run through the curtain into the little hallway where you heard
Yeah.
the voices coming from? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Because we figure we have surprise, so at most they're going to be like, intruders, but then we're going to be through the door because the door's busted.
So you quickly push your way through the curtains. You run. You see the two guys, both really large, coming out of the workroom. Both have a knife. Are both holding holding knives. And
They brought a knife to a gun.
Yeah, they brought all they have are knives on them.
Okay. Are they like wicked looking knives, like a Chris knife, or like daggers, or do they have like box cutters?
No, they're pretty wicked looking knives. They're not designed for working. These are knives designed for
so they're weapons.
peeling
These
flesh.
are the kinds that are
Yeah. Okay.
the standard knives they hand out to cultists.
Okay.
Exactly.
Standard cultist knives. Got
exactly. You can buy those
Standard
online.
cultist knives.
Amazon carries those.
I really think that there must be a Call of Cthulhu cultist shop somewhere in the world that like outfits all the cultists.
No. Whenever you join, you get your welcome package, including a robe, a knife, and
medallion
a little card you can keep in your wallet that's got the special chant that you open the meetings with.
Okay. Well,
right. You're able to.
We're going for the door. I'm thinking we're going to get to it before they do.
Yes, you do. You guys can move a lot faster than they can. Without even having to look at your move speeds versus what they can do. Yeah, you're a lot faster than they are.
Mine's 9.
All right.
So you the door bursts open. You're able to run out into the alley. You hear shouting behind you.
Yeah. Stuff the gun away.
Put the gun
I
in.
want to go running out in the crowd with the gun.
You hear shouting behind you, and one voice yells, "Police! Police! Someone tried to break in."
Shit.
What? Wait, whoa. What do you mean tried to break in? We did break in. I'm offended by his criticism of our performance. We did a good job. I guess it's the middle of the night, so I assume we're just going to stealth ourselves away, and when we get a couple blocks away, get a taxi.
Yeah, we'll find a darker street or whatever to slip into and
the crowd,
try and get lost.
Basically move unseen until you're far enough away where even if the police officer or Bobby came out to look, they wouldn't find you.
Okay.
All right, good.
And you're able to get a taxi back to your hotel, if that's where you want to go.
I think we're going to go back to Jack's.
Yeah, let's go back. Well, did we want to go back to the hotel and see if we could get a look at that ledger?
By the time you get back,
we're pushing our luck for the night.
No. Yeah, but that's the best time to do it, because that's the best time when the front desk guy is probably taking a siesta, if anything. I mean, we can. Do you want to? I mean, because we can always just leave again afterwards and then go back to Jack's. Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, while we're out.
It'll let us kind of cover our tracks, too, because we can go through the front door of the hotel, see if we can't get a look at the ledger, and then sneak out through the back, through the kitchen, and then they've got to try to find us again. Just in case they're following us, or just in case they're going to follow us.
Yeah.
Or they have somebody waiting. That way we don't actually have to go up into the room.
Yeah. And that's a good question. It's a good thing if once we get to the hotel, we notice anything, anybody hanging out that looks suspicious or
Because we know what the two
anything?
PIs look like now.
Very, very generally. I mean, I didn't get super good looks at them. I didn't get a look at their faces really, but I mean, I know one's really tall, or noticeably tall at least, and
The other one had blonde hair. We got to see his face. So.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to the hotel, see if anybody's hanging around suspiciously, and try to see if we can't get a look at the ledger and see who's renting that or who's staying in that room. And then we'll go out the back door and hail a cab and go back to Jackson State.
All right. You get back to the hotel. The guy that was at the desk is still there, but you can see him yawning. His eyes keep drooping closed a little bit. Hello.
Okay.
He welcomes you.
So the ledger, the sign-in book, is it like out or is it behind the desk and brought out only when people need to sign in, or?
It looks like he tucks it into like a drawer or like a little cubby beneath the desk. You can see it's there, but it's not like this, like right on top of the desk when you walk in.
You think you can lure him away somehow?
Yeah, I could chat him up a bit and could see if you can't. Again, we could go up to the room, stuff some toilet paper into the toilet and call down saying it's clogged. Can he come up and fix it? And then you can then when you hear him come up and into my room, you can head down there and just have your
Although
way
he may
with
just
it.
call for a plumber and tell us to wait
This
till
time of
morning or
night?
something. Well, I mean, you probably have to say wait till morning, but it's worth a try.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. So
we'll head to the rooms.
Can you make spot hidden rolls?
We're gonna listen. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna listen to the door, see if there's anyone in it. But yeah, spot hidden will work too. Oh my god, I'm sucking at this.
All right. So, Anson, you notice that what looks like something has unlocked the door to room 9. Just enough to make the latch turn. But that's it. So somebody else has been in a room or in room number 9. And it wasn't you guys.
Huh. And 8 and 9 are adjoining rooms?
8 and 9 are adjoining. There's no connecting door, but they're the two adjoining.
Gun. Do we want to ready our weapons in case we have to have a firefight, or do we just? What do you want to do?
Why don't you go in through the adjoining door while I go in through the front door?
You just said there wasn't adjoining doors. It's just.
I thought you said there was.
They're just rooms next to each other. There's no connecting door.
All right, then. Yeah, let's go in.
Okay. Yeah. Sydney will draw her automatic and cock the hammer back.
Yeah, and Anson will draw his revolver.
And then
quietly count to 3, then whoop, push the door in. Step in quickly.
All right. You go into the room quietly, look in. There's nobody there. If there was a light,
do we want to go to my room?
It's off. It's dark.
Just turn on the light.
Yeah.
And then we'll go clear my room, make sure there's nobody waiting behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Turn on the light in here, and.
Yep. There's nothing. Nobody. The room is otherwise completely empty, as far as you can tell. And you want to end the same with the other room. No disturbance, nothing.
So somebody basically came in and searched our room, but we don't have anything here, so they didn't
Gonna say,
find much
they didn't find anything because we didn't leave anything in there,
Correct.
because we're not staying here. Okay.
which in and of itself probably told them something. But
Yeah, that we're smarter. Okay.
yeah,
All right. Do we want to do the ruse thing?
yeah.
Clog the toilet. I'll call down to the front desk.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, hello, Mr. Clerk. Hi. Yes, this is Sydney. Sydney Scott in room 8, and my loo is not responding to flushing. Can you pipe? There might be something wrong with it. Can you come up and take a look?
Make either a fast talk or persuade roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, persuade is higher.
Ouch.
Sydney can't do the talky stuff. I fumble at these things horribly every single time.
Yeah, Anson might be the better choice for that stuff in the future.
What's your persuade and fast talk?
Fast talk's only 5, but persuade is on here somewhere. 64.
Oh, you should have done it then.
And
Okay.
He
Intimidate
on the
50.
phone and says, "I'm sorry, Mom. You're gonna have to wait until the morning. Just don't use the toilet.
Ugh, okay.
The plumber's able to get in there."
Just don't use the toilet. Okay.
Oh, cross your legs.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Or do you have charm?
I don't have any. She's not a face. I have no social skills.
Okay.
What the defaults are. So
I was thinking maybe you could lure him away, but that's not going to work either.
I just tried.
Um,
Well, we could do something like we could do something more violent. Like we could go down to the kitchen. There's probably no one in there, and like start a fire or something. Respond to it, and then take a look at it. I mean, we could get. I mean, he's one guy. It is a big hotel. I'm sure we could do something drastic enough to get him away from the desk.
we could hold him at gunpoint and make him show it to us.
Yeah, but that's gonna like ruin. I mean,
That's not
that's
so
not
subtle.
gonna work very well because if we don't kill him, then he's just gonna call the coppers, and
that is-
they're gonna know who they are. We are so.
That is strangely enough less subtle than starting a fire in the kitchen.
Well, at least they won't know who started the fire. It could have just been. Do we want to try something, or do we just want to go back to Jack's?
Yeah, I mean, short of drastic measures, I don't see a way to get to it. So let's just go back,
Okay.
call it a night.
Okay.
And this exhibit is tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
The symposium is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna get a taxi and head back to Jack's estate, and yeah, call it a night.
I'm going to try, as we're being driven back to Jack's, to tell and see if we're being followed.
All right. Make a spot hidden roll.
I don't know how easy or that hard would be. Spot hidden?
Just make a spot hidden roll. Yep.
They should just call spot hidden perception.
You
Oh my god! The
Well,
foot is
your rolls
falling.
are catching up to you, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like double fumbles in a row.
Yeah, the nothing seems to.
I'm just tired.
found.
My character's tired.
Yeah, Cindy is like more tired. She's gonna fall asleep as soon as she's able to get to a bed.
Yeah,
She's had a long.
I have sailing ship leg. Okay.
So you get to Jack's, and the scene's gonna end, and that's where I'm gonna end the session.
Hello, Internet. Mike Bertolini here, and I just want to know, do you like things? Do you like scary things? Well, I've got a treat for you. For a limited time, you can pick up a copy of Scary Stories from M Presents on sale. Link in the description.